My name is Detective Aris Thorne. Most call me the Somnambulist Investigator, the Nightmare Detective. I ply my trade in the shadowed hallways of the subconscious, where secrets cling to the fabric of dreams, and truth often hides behind a sleeping mind. Tonight, my case wasn't about a body, but a void. Dr. Vivian Shaw was a titan in neuroscience, a pioneer in memory research. Now she lay in a hospital bed, alive, yet utterly vacant. Her brilliant mind, a fortress of knowledge, had been stripped bare, her memories systematically erased. Not dementia, the neurologists confirmed, but something deliberate, something impossible. The police found no forced entry, no struggle, just a woman whose mind had simply vanished. They called me because the crime wasn't committed in the waking world. I prepared, the familiar chill of the serum spreading through my veins. Entering a dream is like stepping into a personal universe, a landscape shaped by experience and emotion. But Vivian's mind wasn't a universe. It was an infinite, sterile white room, an unbroken horizon of nothingness shimmering faintly like heat haze over a desert. There were no swirling colors, no forgotten fears, no echoing laughter, just blank, a meticulous, horrifying erasure. I knew then this wasn't mere theft of information. This was an act of profound silencing. I called out her name, my voice echoing, thin and fragile in the immense emptiness. No response, no psychic signature. It was as if her essence had been meticulously scraped away. As I probed deeper, a cold dread began to seep into my own mind. This wasn't just a victim. This was a crime scene still being actively sanitized. Then I saw them, faint, shimmering motes of light, like dust catching the sun, but these were fleeing, fragments, remnants of Vivian Shaw's memories, not fully erased, but scattered, hiding from whatever had scoured this landscape. I pursued them, crossing the infinite white. As I moved, the void began to resist. The air grew heavy, like wading through thick water. From the shimmering horizon, an oppressive pressure began to build, pushing against me. It wasn't a figure, but a presence, the architect of this emptiness, still at work, still guarding its horrifying handiwork. It felt like the weight of pure silence, threatening to smother my own thoughts. The fragments were elusive, flickering just beyond reach. One looked like a complex mathematical equation, another a beloved face, a third a fleeting glimpse of a laboratory. Each was a piece of Vivian, escaping her conscious mind. I reached for one, a shimmering, distorted image of a chemical compound, and a surge of overwhelming emptiness washed over me. For a moment, I felt my own name, my own identity slipping. The perpetrator's influence was powerful, actively trying to assimilate me into the void. I fought back, focusing on the simple, tangible reality of the sleeping Vivian. I needed to grasp a memory, to anchor it, to carry it out. I chased a particularly bright fragment, a memory of discovery, sensing its immense importance. It coalesced into a clear image, Dr. Shaw standing before a complex holographic projection, her face alight with triumph and terror. The projection displayed a neural pathway, artificially replicated, being subtly manipulated to suppress or implant specific thoughts. A chilling breakthrough. This wasn't about stealing Vivian's research. It was about burying it. This was a technology that could control minds, erase dissent, implant obedience, and Vivian had discovered it,
perhaps even perfected it, before it was turned on her. The presence of the void solidified, gathering force. It wasn't just pushing, it was now trying to contain me, to dissolve me into its nothingness. Walls of shimmering white began to close in, forming a labyrinth designed to disorient and trap. I could hear whispers now, not words, but the absence of them, the suggestion of oblivion. I gripped the memory fragment, feeling its warmth, its truth. I knew I couldn't simply escape. I had to leave a trail. With every ounce of my will, I focused on the chemical compound I had seen in her dream, on the specific, unique sequence within it. I imprinted it onto a nondescript object in Vivian's collapsing dream, a simple, featureless white stone on the floor. It was a beacon, a key, hidden in plain sight for those who knew where to look. The void roared, a silent, crushing force. I felt myself slipping, but the purpose, the warmth of the memory pulled me back. I burst through the final layer of resistance, back into the jarring reality of the hospital room, gasping for air. The nurse looked up, startled. "Detective, you okay?" I ignored her, scrambling for my notepad. "Check Dr. Shaw's private lab. Look for any notes on Project Chimera or a compound with the sequence Delta 7 Gamma." The police found her encrypted notes. Project Chimera was indeed a clandestine operation exploring advanced neural manipulation, a project Vivian had secretly been trying to expose. The chemical sequence I'd seen in her dream, now retrieved from her notes, led them to a hidden lab and to the man behind the operation, Vivian's former colleague, a ruthless industrialist obsessed with control. He'd used his own device to silence her. Vivian Shaw may never fully recover her memories, but the truth, her truth, was saved. The city sleeps soundly tonight, but somewhere, someone else might be lost in the dark corners of their own mind, their dreams invaded, their reality rewritten. And I'll be there, navigating the surreal, fighting the impossible, because some crimes, the deepest ones, can only be solved in the silence of a dream.